Welcome into Pickin' Winners. It's our first Pickin' Winners of 2023 season. We had a little game last night with the Lions upsetting the Chiefs. And look who I have here. Of course, Holden Kushner. I got JBC in the Panthers jersey. I got Stats, John, Statsational, whatever you want to call it. Hey, John actually has an interesting electronical feature. He said that he was going to pleasure himself during the show. John, when you climax, can you show us the graphic you're going to put up here?
Yeah, I'm just going to stop the cam. So that's how you know if the cam stops. It's like that. What was that CNN guy?
I don't know.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. He got on camera with his cover.
Thank you, John, because we don't want to see any of that. We don't want to have to see your face. Also, if you want to hit mute, I can actually mute you while you're doing that. So if I see that graphic come up, I'll hit mute. This is just how happy Stats is to be working with me.
It's like that Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh, man, yeah. When they had access to the cameras, everyone else knows, man. Black Mirror.
Yeah, everybody knows except you, Holden.
What are you talking about? What is Black Mirrors?
It's basically everything that's going to happen to us in the future. It's like a Twilight Zone of the 2020s.
Well, he's frozen. Do you think he's going off right now, JBC? Oh, he's back.
No, he's back.
I didn't freeze on my side.
Yeah.
All right.
You, buddy.
So here's what we're going to do. We are, first of all, I got to talk to JBC in a second, but we're going to run down the NFL main slate. But we're not just going to talk DFS. It's going to be more betting centric, betting focused. So we'll run down the main slate of the NFL. First, from a bet side, we'll throw in some DFS notes. Then we're going to get the 5 big college games. These guys are big time college bettors as well. So we'll get their plays on 5 games. And then if we got some time at the end, we'll run through some futures football wise. But it's going to be kind of like it has been in the past. NFL, except we'll add some college in the end. So we do have a new bet side here. NFL 17% off your subscription for life, whether it be the DFS side, the bet side, or both sides. You can combine them, do a little combo platter. JBC, just a quick intro from you, because most people that know RPS, they know what kind of jackass I am. What kind of jackass are you? What are you into betting-wise, DFS-wise? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been a professional bettor for 12 years now, and professional DFS player for 6, I think. And, so it's all I've ever done. Ever since I graduated college, is just straight into it. That's moved to Las Vegas, and that's all I've done.
Where'd you go to school?
Georgia Tech.
Yes. So are you an Atlanta guy?
Oh, yeah, but Panthers.
Marietta.
Oh, yeah. I'm from Norcross.
All right, very good.
Marietta.
John,
my brother played in the under 10 World Series down in Marietta back a long time ago.
Yeah, I was the worst player in the Cobb County League, but what are you going to do? Stats, where the hell are you from? What's going on with you? You look a little older.
From Brooklyn, down in Florida now, and I've been with JBC since just about him starting in sports betting. So back when he was just an average nobody back in those days, and now he's the big shot in the DFS world. So we started up back then. JBC used to run. He could describe it better than I can. He used to run from book. I don't know how he did it, but he's also a different type of human being. He used to run from sportsbook to sportsbook, putting in our bets, to try to get the best line possible. And then the fun of it was, he could probably tell you better, with the how the books would just like, you'd go to put in Toronto minus 125, and the books would be like, hold on 1 second. They bring over the boss, and then they'd say, yeah, it's minus 135 now. So
that was fun.
Yeah, those were the good old days. And we've been together ever since doing this sports betting and DFS and everything else. And now we're here at Run Pure. So we're back to our roots here, doing some sports betting with you guys.
Canarsie, East 81st and J. Stats.
Canarsie is where I grew up.
Kid, we're just about the same age. We used to live next to Crazy Eddie. His deals were insane.
You got to be kidding. Wait, where in Canarsie?
East 81st and J.
81st and J. Okay, yeah, I was on Remsen between J and K. So
I don't remember. I was like 9
blocks away. We were.
Yeah. Went to very good. Well, enough of the bullshitting. Let's get into this. NFL betting side, DFS side, also college side as well. So we got a lot to cover as we move on. If you got any questions or comments, throw it in the YouTube chat. We'll be happy to do that, and hit the like button. Wonderful. Okay, we are going to start, JBC, with the Niners and the Steelers. Niners at the Steelers. Right now, Steelers 2.5-point home dogs. Total here is 41.5 minus 10 both sides. And if you want to hit the money line, minus 30 for the 49ers and plus 110 for the Steelers. What's the breakdown of this game, which I'm really excited to see some Kenny Pickett?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Steelers are going to be drastically improved from where they were last year. You know, the issue for them is just the division is so hard. And this certainly is not a great game to be leading the year off against the 49ers. But, you know, I still think, I'm thinking that Pickett is going to be improved enough to be able to pull this one out. You know, the 49ers do seem pretty confident in their quarterback situation, considering they traded Lance. But, you know, I see Pittsburgh winning this one at home.
Ooh, so you taking the money line straight up?
Money line.
Wow. All right, Stats. What's your take on the Niners at the Steelers? I'm kind of leaning toward JBC. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I'm leaning the same way. I think just from the line itself, it almost seems like they're kind of sucking you in here on the San Francisco side. San Fran seems to be, I mean, they're the class of the West. We do like them in futures bets, and that North in the AFC is going to be tough. I think Pittsburgh is improved. I think that's a tough spot. There's a lot of people are going to talk about the West Coast going to the East Coast in that early game. That's not a big angle I would look at. Doesn't really play out as often as you would think. So don't look at that as an angle. But I do think coming in this week, I think Pittsburgh gets the upset. I agree. I'd rather take the money line. If it gets to 3, if you can get 3, take the 3. But if it's 2.5, I would hit it on the money line.
Man, you've got some DFS plays here as well. Here's the deal. I usually play about 10 lineups on the main slate, 10 on the early slate, 10 on the late slate. So I'm not a big MME 150 guy, but I do build lineups there. And one of those lineups is going to have Kenny Pickett in it, JBC. Who do you like from this game? Because I'm just going to set you up. I think Najee Harris gets a bad rap. I think he was hurt last year. He was hurt last year. He's a lot better than what he performed in the second half of the season. Pickett had a nice preseason. He's got Pickens and Deontay Johnson on the other side. We're going to find out if Brock Purdy's for real as well. So what do you like from the DFS side in this game?
Nothing really other than the defenses. I mean, I
Really?
think it would be pretty low scoring. You know, I think the Steelers would be better off trying to suppress the scoring as well. You know, keep it close in the fourth quarter, hope something happens. And so I'm not really targeting this game at all.
Hey, Stats, can I interest you in some McCaffrey?
Potentially, but you got to be careful. I know this isn't a DFS show. We won't go into too much detail, but just pay attention to the totals in the game, team total and the total overall in the game. At a 41.5 total, typically not a type of game that you're going to see a lot of action and a lot of scoring. That's going to help you in your DFS lineups. I think on average the Millie makers are somewhere around a 46 total or something like that. So you got to kind of use the Vegas lines to your advantage and look that way. So yeah, McCaffrey at the price probably not going to be in big GPP winners.
All right, we got the Bucs at the Vikings next. The Bucs are 5.5-point dogs on the road, plus 190 on the money line, minus 230 for the Vikings. And the total here, just about every game is going to be minus 10. 46 is the total, so it's right around where you need it to be. JBC, from a betting standpoint, we got Baker Mayfield on one side. We've got a really high-powered offense here for the Vikings with Justin Jefferson and Hawkinson, and we'll see what Alexander Mattison could do as well. Defensively, not sure where you're standing on the Bucs, maybe taking a step back. The Vikings, not too impressive. What do you like, if anything, with Tampa Bay at Minnesota?
You know, I really like the Tampa Bay side in this game. I think that Minnesota's defense is just a sieve. And even though Tampa, Baker, it's not, they still have the studs on the outside. I think that Tampa will be able to keep up with them and score and keep it close.
What about you, Stats? Where are you with the Minnesota hosting Tampa Bay? Any play here?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to agree with Mark on every play here so far, but it's only 2. But I do like Tampa as well in this game. Now, Minnesota on my futures simulations that I ran, they were way overvalued right now in the market. They're a sell for me overall, so I'm going to sell them here in week 1. Last year, they won 13 games and had a negative scoring margin. So hard to believe. I think they revert back to the mean. I'll take the points here in this game. I think it's too many. When you look at Minnesota's defense, the one thing for DFS, Minnesota was a great target in stacking in games. They had one of the worst defenses against quarterbacks and wide receivers, and they were one of the best teams at the wide receiver position. So take a look. Baker Mayfield's going to be owned a little bit more than people would have anticipated coming into this week.
You're comfortable with Baker Mayfield?
No, I'm not comfortable, but it's Baker Mayfield. But you're going to have to take some, certainly at that price, he's got enough weapons where he could put up enough points. I'm seeing some crazy projections on him, and that are higher than where the market is right now on his props for yardage. But you can't be totally shocked if he throws for 275 in this game.
So we got the Texans at the Ravens next. I absolutely love Lamar Jackson. I love Monken coming in here, spreading things out offensively. The Texans are, well, I think you can still find a 10 out there, can't you? I laid the 10 here, or actually I'm picking up the 10 with the Texans. I just think the number's too big. It's more of a numbers play than anything else. 43.5 is the total, and the Ravens unbettable at minus 455. You want to take the Texans for a massive upset, plus 350. All right, JBC, you with or against me here on taking the Texans and the points?
I'm for sure with you, and I think they have a chance to win the game. I mean, I don't think the Texans are going to be near as bad as they were last year with the improvement at quarterback. I think they can score. I don't see why they can't. So looks pretty good to me.
All right, we'll have some rain showers there. Anything from the DFS side? Are you going to roll with any Texans or maybe some Lamar Jackson?
I'll definitely have Lamar a fair bit. And, pretty much everybody on the Ravens is in play. The Texans, not so much. Also, Ravens defense, rookie QB first game could be, some dice. A little messy. Yes.
A little messy. By the way, JBC, are you a mess or are you clean? My office, it's the one place where I can just be a disaster. If you saw this thing, it looks like cows stampeded through it. Are you a clean guy in your office, or you're a mess too?
Oh, I have shit all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, I have freaking wall mounts and shit just sitting around. See, John, on the other hand, looks a little cleaner than us. Actually, you do. Yeah.
I'm able to situate the camera in a way that it looks cleaner, but everything on the desk is a mess. Listen, they say smart people tend to be a little bit more disorganized and messy. So I'm just going to go with that.
All right, I'm dumb and disorganized. I do see that you have a closet back there. Something's covering it, or they're dead.
No, that's a window. So this way I black out the window. Listen, this is high tech kind of setup that I've got going on over here.
You got.
I hung that all by myself.
You've got everything going on.
Yeah, I like it. And what are the jerseys by? Is that Keith Hernandez? That
is Keith Hernandez. Come on, big Mets fan. 86 Mets.
I was there. Three of the games at Shea. Would have gone to Game 7. They rained out though before.
They rained out Game 7. Wound up winning it on my birthday on the 27th.
No shit.
And Ralph Kiner's birthday.
Stats and I got a lot in common here. It's a little scary. JBC, I'll cuddle with you at the team party, so don't worry about it. We'll get a little bit closer. Anyways, we're talking about this Ravens-Texans game. Betting side first, maybe a DFS player too, Stats.
Yeah, I mean, the sharp money has actually come in on Houston on this game, so which, no shock that
they knew
JBC likes it.
Yeah.
So sharp money came in on the Houston. I don't love the game personally. If I'm in an office pool, I'm going to take the points here, the 10 points. 43.5 as far as DFS. Again, we look at that total in the game, 43.5 DFS wise, doesn't really scream a whole lot, but a lot of that, obviously, when you got the 10-point spread, the team total for Baltimore is going to be a little bit higher. So you can play Lamar here. Is going to be whatever it is. I can't do the math. Mark will do the math in his head a lot quicker than I will, but that team total is high enough where they are going to be viable as a play in DFS. I don't think you'll have much on the Houston side. I think if Houston does cover this game, it's going to be a low scoring game. So the more than likely this game stays 20-17, 20-14 if it's going to be a Houston cover. I'm less optimistic that they'll win this game outright. If you're in a survivor pool, this is going to be the most popular play. Not a great play if you're in a large survivor pool, only because Baltimore, you're going to have options later in the year. So you might want to get off them in large pools. Small pools, you're going to want to go a little chalky. But as far as that goes, as far as the betting angles, I'm leaning Houston, but I'm not making any bets on it.
Stats, how did you put the thing in front? Because I just climaxed while you were talking.
No, I just stopped my camera. That's all. Just stop.
Oh.
It's not really high tech, dude.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, there's a little button on the bottom.
No
off switch.
Hold on. Oh, I did it.
Yeah,
I did it. I'm so pumped. Yes.
Yeah.
Steven Neighbors is in the chat. Oh, we got Stats and the infamous JBC. What up, gents? They also like the spotlight. LOL. Stats, my guy, Jimmy Walker, Dynamite. He loves you. Like button would be wonderful. Helps us with something called an algorithm. And again, we're going to cover 5 college football games, including Colorado, Nebraska, before this show is over. But we are hitting the big games here on the main slate of DFS, but we're talking betting more than anything else, just so you can wrap your head around things. Okay, Jaguars, Colts. Interesting here, JBC. We got Anthony Richardson coming out, the rookie. This is a team defensively, which looks like a complete disaster. They've got 3 offensive linemen that are not running near 100% already. Jaguars, 4.5-point favorites on the road, though, in a division game. Total 46. Colts plus 195. Jags minus 238 on the road. Do the Jags deserve to be this heavy of a favorite?
Yes. I think the Jaguars are a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I think Lawrence is definitely in the MVP conversation. I think the Colts are. I don't think Anthony Richardson is much of anything, especially at this stage in his career. I think they're going to kill him personally.
Kill him. Wow. So do you like any of maybe the running game here? Zach Moss will be coming actually on the other side with Travis Etienne. Do you like any of the running game for the Jaguars, or is it just Lawrence, Zay Flowers, and his Calvin Ridley, et cetera?
Everybody on the offense for the Jaguars is definitely in play.
Okay.
And, I think at his price in terms of like cash games and stuff, you could play Richardson with the rushing upside, but beyond that.
All right. Stats, let's get your thoughts on the Colts and the Jaguars here from a betting side, maybe a DFS play as well. Some would say, a trap game, divisional game, 4.5 points. I'm not buying that. How about you?
Some would be me. I'm saying it's crap. I like the Colts. I like the Colts in this game. It looks stupid. Now, listen, I've obviously got this wrong because I sat for months. I know, dude. I sat for like 2 months watching this at 3.5. And then I really thought the fact that it sat at 3.5 for forever, I thought eventually this was going to tick down to 3. Going to be one of those games where the sharps came in on it and ticked to 3. So I jumped at the 3.5, and then pretty instant. I've gotten the worst numbers ever. The pro that I am, I got the worst numbers preseason here of all time. Read it totally wrong, and now it's jumped up to the 4.5 or 5. But I still feel okay at the 3.5. Listen, nothing that you said about Indianapolis I disagree with. I don't think Richardson's going to be all that great. Certainly from a passing standpoint, we'll see a lot of him using his legs in this game. I am bullish on Jacksonville on the season. I think that division's easily winnable, which is why I do like them on some Super Bowl futures, just because they have the easiest road in the AFC to get there. They should not have any problem getting there. And my model agrees with that. So, but in this game, I'm taking the upset. Historically early in the season, fading the playoff teams from the year before has been good. The last couple of years, it has not worked. But I'm going to go back to the well on that. I think ESPN posted something about this like 3 or 4 years ago on the show. And since they said it, it's absolutely gotten crushed. When Mark first met me, we used to crush the early season NFL. And a lot of it was just fading teams that you thought were going to be good coming off of last season. I still like that in certain spots. And this is a spot I do like it in the division here. I'm going to take a shot. I'll probably look foolish. They'll lose by 20. But I'm taking the Colts in this one.
All right, just so everybody knows, I am self-deprecating. I love Mark Corneth. How the world is Holden still employed at RPS? The guy is the biggest clown around and contributes nothing. I got to be honest with you. I agree. I'm not sure how this is happening. Happy to be with these two guys today. But I have asked myself this question many times. What do I add to this subscription? And the question is, I don't know. JBC, I don't know. Stats, I don't know.
I think you're the most valuable employee of the whole company.
Well, Chosen Nick, he made some good ass calls last year. We do have all our flaws. Like button's great. I do want to get to know these guys a little bit more. I want you to know them a little bit more too. JBC, what's the setup on Sundays when the game's going on? Because me, just 3 TVs, Unfortunately, as a live bettor, we got YouTube now running it, so it's streaming. My live betting experience is going to be completely different, but I will be live betting all day. My girlfriend will probably come by a couple of times. I told her to go kayaking, but I'll be sitting my ass down, maybe doing some calisthenics once in a while. What's the setup for JBC on Sundays?
Definitely don't watch the 1 p.m. games, at least
Really?
most of them, because you got to work on the stuff for the 4 o'clock games, and you got to make sure that you got all your inactives right. And if I actually end up with some time, then I'll maybe go to a bar and watch the 4 o'clock game or the night game. But a lot of times you don't end up watching any of them when it's all you're doing is just grinding it.
Wow. Stats. What are you doing for the games on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I'm up early, working on the lineups. Once it locks, then I take my shower for the day. So I miss usually like the first half of the first quarter of the games, then hop on. I've got a couple of I've got the red zone going, and that's all I really need. And then maybe I'll put on the small monitor. I'll have like a few games going on there if I need to click over. And then by the time 2:30, 3 o'clock rolls around, I'm working on the 4 o'clock stuff. And then once that is locked, I too, like Sunday afternoon to Sunday night, that's my time. That's the most free time I possibly have. So I don't mind going out and watching the games or, catching up on them at a later time. But usually I'll go out and watch the games in the afternoon.
So no live betting for you guys?
No live betting. It's too tough, like you said, with the streaming and everything. And honest, here's the
time, but
what were we saying, Mark?
Like betting at halftime, yes, but not
exactly.
Live betting during the game. With streaming, it becomes too difficult.
Not only that, we're so numbers based and numbers oriented that it's really difficult to have a proper model for live betting. You're kind of, you're guessing. And to me, it's like playing slot machines. It's like, you're sitting there on the phone and it gets addicting and people just love to, if you're playing for small amounts of money, go ahead and do it and mess with it. But we don't have any edge at all in the live markets, at least not yet. I know I
disagree. I completely disagree. Just because when I'm going in with a plan, I'm looking at the pregame numbers. Like last night, I did want to hit Mahomes rushing prop live. That obviously went bluey, right? Yeah, but I also wanted to hit St. Brown's under, so I waited till the damn thing hit like 86.5, I wanted to say. Hit that on the other. If you go in, you guys are completely different process. You're big time bettors. You're going in, you're grinding. I'm just going in with a plan every freaking week. And it's been profitable. It's been profitable more than pre-flop bets. Anyways, enough of everybody getting to learn each other. We can do that later. Parabay, great point. I do help you hit the workbench. Bengals at the Browns. Browns getting 2. This thing was 2.5 this morning, down to 2 at most books. 47.5 is the total. Browns plus 10, minus 130 for Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Joe Burrow is playing. No shock to anybody. JBC, bets or DFS plays in this one?
This is a big one for me. I really love the Browns. I'm really bullish on the Browns for the season as well. And I'm selling the Bengals this year. I think that a lot of it is smoke and mirrors. The Browns are just so stacked on the lines. If Watson is even mediocre, I think they win 10, 11 games.
Last night, our boy Memorabilia took it home with the Lions. That's my one win of the year. It's going to go to shit now. Yes, stats, the Browns and the Bengals. I mean, I want to pull the trigger on that. Is this a teaser opportunity? Did I need the hook to get in on a teaser? Bet side, DFS side.
Yeah, I am going to agree with JBC on this one. Cleveland, to me, preseason, they were one of my. I'm as bullish as anybody. We've both been that way on Cleveland. They've popped on my model. When I ran the Sims for the season, they're showing value as far as playing them as a divisional winner. That's maybe the toughest division, but you're getting the price there. Here's the thing I've been saying about Watson. When you look at what happened with Brady going to Tampa, I mean, it took them 10, 11 weeks before they really started to figure out that offense. And that's Brady. Like the guy basically is the offensive coordinator out on that field. So it took him a little bit of time. Maybe Russell Wilson, we'll see if he can pull off something similar here this year with all the mess that they have. But you see a lot of times these quarterbacks go to a new team, especially the veterans. It doesn't really happen all that quickly for him. He had the whole season, a good chunk of the season off, comes back at the end of the year. I thought the last couple of games we saw some signs of the old Watson. If he comes out and looks like Watson of old, this is the best team in that division. This is the best offensive line in that division. This is the best team if Watson is Watson. So I'm going to take a shot at like plus 380 to win the division. I think it's well worth it. And if I like them there, then I like them in this game at home. I'll take it. The sharp money that I saw coming in has been on the Cleveland side. So that backs where we're seeing. I like Cleveland in this game.
All right, let's move on to our next game, which will be the Arizona Cardinals and the Washington Commanders. So we've got some injury news here already. Hollywood Brown always has soft tissue injuries. He's got one again. So we'll see what happens with him. He has been listed as questionable. The Commanders, no more Dan Snyder. So the curse of Dan Snyder is gone. Washington, 7-point favorites at home, minus 110, both sides. What is this? The lowest total on the slate at 38. You're going to have some rain showers there. That doesn't concern me at all. Plus 260 Cardinals, unbettable minus 325 for the Commanders on the money line. Bets and DFS here. Let's start with the betting side. Can the Commanders cover 7 here against Joshua Dobbs under center for the Cards?
I like the Cardinals in this game. I think that they're live to win. You talk about they're actually playing a quarterback with more experience than the Commanders are. And, first start for Howell or I guess second, he might've played one game at the end last year, but I don't see any reason why this game isn't some 17-14 muck fest. And in that situation, Arizona's going to cover.
All right. Stats. Interesting there. I'm not sure too many people are on, Arizona. JBC just laid it out. How about you?
Yeah, nobody's on Arizona as far as the public goes. So that always leads credence to taking the other side. The public loves Washington in this game. I'm kind of neutral on it. If you got to twist my arm, I think I would jump on. I would take Washington as well, even though I hate being on the side of the public. Not a game I would bet. I don't like this as far as a bet. Everything Mark said, I can get behind, but I can't actually get my money behind it. So I wouldn't put any cash on it. But and I hate being on the same side as the public in these games. When you talk about the DFS standpoint, I mean, you can throw this game out 37.5 to 38.5 on the total. It's disgusting. When you're for those of you in survivor pools, though, it's scary. I hate hearing JBC say it, but I'm going to be heavy on Washington in a lot of my pools just because they've got no future value at all. So this is the one. This is like the pivot if you're in a pool, survivor pool off of Baltimore to get maybe the second most owned team in survivor pools, a team that, quite frankly, you have very little opportunity to take them the rest of the way. So, listen, we lost 43% of people in survivor pools last year. This could be one of them, but I'm going to take that risk. I'm going to be heavily weighted survivor pools on the Washington side. All
right, like button would be great. We're here at the top of the hour, 17% off. Lifetime of your packages, either you die or we die. I don't think either one's going to happen anytime soon. NFL 17, still time to get in there. Last night, the boys crushed Showdown. I can't tell you how many screenshots we have out there. I think they posted them on Instagram. I just learned that my boy JSU won almost 50K. I think it was 49.8. We have the best Showdown team in the business. I used to think Big T was the best. No. We got better guys than him now. We got JBC and Wiley in here, although Big T's still a complete stud there. Amazing, absolutely amazing content, not just NFL. Bruce on the DFS side runs an amazing college product, DFS. We got college bets. We still have the U.S. Open tennis if you're into that. Our golf team is amazing. Golf means golf here at RPS and our Run Pure Bet. So a lot of great things we're offering. We're going to get into our next game, JBC. I like the Titans with 3 and a hook. You're now going to have to buy that half point, though. I don't know if you want that. So let's see what you think about Titans getting 3 points on the road against Derek Carr. First game, new team, New Orleans Saints, -3, -108, +3 for the Titans, -12. 42 is the total. Slightly juice the under at -12, +130 money line for the Titans, -55 for the Saints. Which side are you on here, JBC?
I like the Titans to win this game. They have a lot more stability, as you just referenced, than the Saints do. Hopkins now, I think they're a better team. And I think the line is going to keep coming toward pick as the game approaches.
So stick with any DFS plays here. I love the Titans this year, by the way. I got it before they got Hopkins. I bet them to win the division. Tannehill is back. People hate Tannehill. He's a league average quarterback as opposed to the shit they were throwing out there last year with Malik Willis etc. This team's defensively is terrific. They were just in the AFC Championship game a couple of years ago. What do you think about the Titans or the Saints and the Saints from a DFS side?
I think both defenses are playable. Obviously, Henry's always playable. I mean, it's hard to put any faith in what Hopkins exactly is going to bring as far as DFS.
Yeah.
In terms of the game, he's going to draw some attention, but we don't know how often they're going to go to him and how often they're going to lean on Henry. So defenses and Henry mostly.
What about you, stats, side, total, prop, DFS, Titans at the Saints?
Yeah, this is one of the few that I at least got in at a good price as of right now. I've got Tennessee +3. I took a while ago, so I'm on the Tennessee side as well. That is where the sharp money has come in. Also, is the Tennessee side of this game. I agree here. You've got more stability. You've got the quarterback here. I don't love Tannehill, but he's produced. They've won. Right. So I think this is obviously the only threat to Jacksonville in that division. I still think Jacksonville is the class of the division, but Tennessee is going to be okay. And New Orleans, you got the new quarterback coming in. Again, it goes back to my theories about new quarterbacks. Takes them a little time to adjust. I like Tennessee pulls the upset off on the road. And again, from DFS standpoint, low total, got to be careful. I just did a quick look through on my stack. I have a stack probability sheet that I have. We're going to be using it for the first time here at Run Pure. And I'm just staring at my first 40 stacks, and there's basically nobody from this game qualified as my top 40 stacks. So you're not looking at this game from a stacking standpoint, the quarterbacks or anything like that. It's strictly defense and possibly Henry. And I don't even like Henry all that much in this game.
Hold on. You got to tell me about this sheet you're throwing, because we have so many tools here at DFS. You're not at a Run Pure Sports. You're not getting them anywhere else. What is this tool you're talking about?
Yeah. So it's a sheet that's going to show you the probability that the quarterback and his pass catching option hits 60 points. Because we're looking for in these big GPPs is 30 points from each, or about 60 points total from the stack. So I'm going to give you the probability that based on the projections and a few other factors, some correlation factors on how often that stack will hit that 60-point threshold. So then I think I'm giving you guys the top 40, and you can pick your stacks from there. So it's a really nice tool.
Yeah, great stuff. I love all the additions we've had. Not just on the bet side, on the DFS side too, with all the new faces here. We're going to get into our final 1 o'clock Eastern time game. That'll be the Panthers at the Falcons. Oh, how do we not talk about the Panthers with JBC and his Ray Caruth? Actually, you know what? You're not wearing a Ray Caruth jersey. That would be very tasteless. But if you help me take down a tournament where I win $2,000 or more this year, you're going to get a Ray Caruth jersey, facsimile autograph. I don't want to see the man. He's a bad person. Panthers +3.5 on the road at Atlanta, 39.5 total, not very hardy. Panthers +154, -185 for the Falcons. Bryce Young standing at about 5'4", same height as Travis Mangone. Bet side, DFS side, JBC, really quick. How tall are you, JBC? Don't lie.
5'9".
Yeah, all right. What about you, stats? You think I'm going to guess 5'11"?
No, I'm actually coming in just under Mark. Probably like a half inch under Mark.
I tower over him.
Okay, I used to be 5'10". I'm now 5'8.5". I'm shrinking. It's probably because of HGH uses.
You're like Hulk Hogan. He keeps claiming he's lost 5 inches from his prime.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you use steroids and HGH. Anyways, JBC, it was whatever. We're not going down that road right now. Your Panthers against the Falcons.
I love our defense, but the situation with Brian Burns is not great as far as what he's been saying in the media. And I think the Falcons, the Falcons pretty much have a better player at almost every single position on offense other than quarterback. And Bryce Young in the first game, I think the Falcons cover this spread pretty easily.
Anything from the DFS side? Are you going to take a dive into the Bijan streets? Are you going to take a little Drake London? Is there anything on the other side with the Panthers?
It's hard to know whether they're just going to bell cow Bijan right off the bat. Allgeier might be still getting a lot of the carries. I don't really know other than Pitts. I do like Pitts, but there's nothing really here other than the defenses.
Carolina, Atlanta, stats, break it down.
This is my least favorite game of the week. I hate this game. I don't like I don't like the side. If I'm in a pool, I'm just going to take the half a point with the extra the hook, and I'll take Carolina. I can't bet this game. I don't like it. I agree. I think. Well, I think you said. Did you say Carolina was better at all, or you said Atlanta was? Oh yeah, Atlanta better at every position. Yeah, no doubt. Atlanta's the better team at every position, and we'll see about the quarterback situation. We don't know. Yeah, it's just not a game I like. DFS wide, there's no way you're playing. You're not. I don't know what you could possibly play here on DFS. There's a lot of bad games from a DFS standpoint this week, which means the good games are going to be highly owned. So we'll see what winds up happening. But yeah, there's too much uncertainty in this game. I don't like it at all. I'm not seeing anything either as far as square money or sharp money coming in on this game. This is just a hard pass for me. Gun to my head. Give me the points with Carolina.
Brendan, good question about Miles Sanders. I did read something today. I think it was in the Observer where they're going to try and mix in some other backs with Miles Sanders. Hey, you're a Panthers guy, JBC. Talk to me about the running backs there.
You have to move the ball on offense for the running back to have any value, you know, and I think we're going to be playing from behind. So I just don't see it.
All right. 225 my time, 425 big games coming up. We've got the Eagles, Patriots, Raiders, Broncos, Dolphins, Chargers, Rams visit the Seahawks. And then we've got some news on the Packers as they visit the Bears. We're going to start with Philadelphia at New England, JBC. Philly laying 4 on the road at Bill Belichick and the Patriots. 45 is the total. Eagles minus 200 on the money line. If you want to back Belichick, plus 164. Boy, can we go DFS first on this side? Because the Eagles at the Patriots, the notion that the Patriots defense is still this, you know, they're amazing. They're going to take out the top option on the Eagles side. The problem with that is I think Devontae Smith takes that next step, and he's right there with A.J. Brown. It's going to be tough to contain this Philadelphia offense. DFS-wise, is this the game we want to target? And then let's talk about the bets.
I think at DFS, the Eagles are always going to be in play. You know, so many studs, and Hurts always puts up points. You know, I'll have my fair share of the Eagles, but I'm really not sold on them in this game. Like it's like what you were saying. Like I New England, I think, suppresses the scoring, and the game script will be better for them. And I think New England's going to cover.
I see a little 3.5 out there too. If you want to back the Eagles at that price. Hey, Stats, is any money going to come in on the Patriots to run this thing down to 3?
Well, the sharp money already has come in on the Patriots. I took the Pats also earlier a few weeks ago. So I was on this Patriot bet, and the sharp money's on the Pats. So we'll see if that's enough in order to. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get this to 3, to be honest with you, just because the public's going to be all over Philly. So they'll have enough money to offset, I think, the sharp money on this game. But if you like the Patriots, I would actually take that number now. I wouldn't wait for it. I don't think you're going to get much better a number. So if you're on the side that we're on, I would take that number now. This is actually a good opportunity to talk about, and I've talked to JBC about this. A lot of times we are on a bet, and then it seems counter to how we may play the DFS.
Mm-hmm.
It's two different things, right? So, but people will look at it. People get so caught up in how they know exactly how a game's going to go, so they're going to bet it, then they're going to play it that way in DFS, and because they just have an opinion and they're going to go with that opinion. We like JBC was saying, he's going to have Hurts in his in his GPP and his 150 lineups. Going to have plenty of Hurts stacks. Yet going to have a bet on New England, and if New England wins that bet, again, the chances are that means it's a low-scoring game, which means maybe Hurts won't be the play. Too much to go into now, but oftentimes we're playing. It's two different games, so you got to kind of separate the two. You're looking for value on the side on your DFS side, and you're looking for value on your sports betting side, and a lot of times those will contradict. So it seems counterintuitive, but I just want to sum that up for everybody. Where you're like, well, how are you playing a player that you're betting against? And it happens quite often.
I like it. I like it a lot. Raiders, Broncos. I'm seeing some 3s out here now. Broncos -3 and a hook, but I'm seeing Broncos -3. Saw this as high as 4 earlier. We'll go with 3 and a hook. I'm probably going to back the Broncos. I'm just waiting to see where this number settles. If we can get 2.5, I'm not so sure it's going to happen. Anyways, 43.5 is the total. Raiders +50 on the road, -180 for the Broncos. JBC, I think Russell Wilson is going to be running a lot more. I got to dig into that rushing prop. I was actually going to do that this afternoon, so I'll do that right when I get off. But Sean Payton said, go run. Let's just do what you do best. And I see him. I'm going to be looking at the rushing attempts. If we can get a 3.5 out there, 4.5 might even be there. And then rushing yards, I see him going for at least 20 here. So talk to me. And you know what, Smokestack, you're right. It's been 3 years, 6-0 Raiders against the Broncos recently. Sean Payton's in town. Is that going to make a difference, JBC?
I think it does. I took Russell Wilson as my second quarterback in the $50,000 buy-in best ball. I think the Broncos are going to have a strong season. And this spread seems low. I think they're going to win this game handily.
Any DFS plays?
I think that all the Broncos wide receivers are in play. Adams is in play. Jacobs is in play. I think this is going to end up being a shootout.
I am going to tell you right now, my DFS play of the week is going to be Hunter Renfrow. Nobody talks about this guy anymore. Remember 2 years ago, he was a target monster. Jimmy Garoppolo loves checking down to his slot receiver. Surtain's going to be on Devontae Adams a lot. So my DFS play of the week is going to be Hunter Renfrow, which many of you will fade now. Stats, talk to me. Raiders at the Broncos, bets and DFS.
Yeah, I'm bullish on Denver as well. I think Russell Wilson comes back here this season. That was a mess. New quarterback, new head coach who had never called plays before, and now he's going to be a head coach and call plays with Hackett last year. Total debacle. Everything was messed up. So I think Wilson wasn't Russell Wilson his last year in Seattle either, but he is not nearly as bad as he was at the start of last season. You saw an improvement at the end when without Hackett. Like I said before, it takes time with these guys before they really settle into a new offense. With Peyton there, I think this team is going to be a lot better than people think. I think I'm bullish on Wilson as well. So, yeah, I'll take Denver in this game to win this one at home. You're basically 3-point spread. Nowadays, it's not 3 anymore for home field. It's about 2. But so they're saying Denver's like a 1-point favorite here on a neutral site. I think they're better than that against Vegas. So I'll take Denver.
All right, very good. We got, by the way, Hunter Renfrow. I'm smashing this right now while you're going to be talking about the next game. 28.5 yards. I'm taking the over. We'll look at the receptions too. 3.5 receptions. You get 2.5 minus 175. I'm not messing with it. I can get plus money on 3.5 though. So I'll probably be running out of same game parlay, little receptions and yards for Hunter Renfrow. But we'll move on to our next game now. And that will be the Dolphins at the Chargers. You know what, JBC, we're going to talk about it from a betting side, but this is going to be the most popular game, highest total in DFS. So let's break it down from that side. Dolphins getting 3 points, minus 105 on the road, 51 total, plus 142 for the Dolphins. DFS-wise, how invested are you going to be, and who are you invested in?
Heavy. I mean, both sides are amazing to play in DFS. Going to have a ton of Tua and Herbert. Going to have all the running backs, all the receivers in some amounts. Going to have Hill a fuck ton, obviously. I think it goes over the total. But I also think the Chargers are going to win. I like the Chargers to cover the 3. Think they're the better team. That's it.
All right, stats. Break it down for us. How invested in DFS first? Because I feel that's the big one.
Yeah, DFS. Obviously, you're going to crush this one. Look, when you play the nice thing about Tua is he doesn't really spread the ball, but he doesn't go to one guy. It's a 2-man operation. So he's one of the few guys that you could play comfortably. The last 2 years, it hasn't really worked out where you've been playing the two pass catchers with the quarterback. He's the one guy you can still do it with because you're going to get a lot of action going to just 2 guys on that team. So I don't mind stacks here with Waddle and Hill and Tua. Obviously, you're going to be paying for it. The comeback, you might have to look maybe at the tight end, look at an Everett as a comeback. And then certainly I like the Herbert stacks as well. So I think heavily invested here on that game. From a betting standpoint, I don't really like the game all that much. I do think, look, the Chargers are just one of the most disappointing teams to me in football. It's why I like the Chiefs. Even with that loss last night, I still like the Chiefs to win this division. After this weekend, you probably even get a better price on the Chiefs. I would still hammer the Chiefs to go ahead and win the division. The Chargers, something about the coach, the quarterback, the combination, I don't know what it is. They're a disappointing team. Numbers-wise, fantasy-wise, absolutely Herbert would be fine. There's something with that team that they don't win. I can't bet this game. I don't like it. If you put a gun to my head, I'll take the home team. I'll take the Chargers, and I'll lay the points. But I don't like the game from the betting standpoint. But I could dabble in the over here. I do think we're going to see some points.
I am not going to put a gun to your head, but I do want to know from both of you guys, how do we get different? How do we get different with this since it's such a popular game?
Yeah, it's hard.
I mean, everybody you play is going to be owned. I don't think it, I think you just, I don't think you worry about getting different. You just play the guys that are good and get different elsewhere.
Beautiful. That's very simple and good advice. I like it.
Yeah, that's it.
How about a like button?
Yeah, you could. There's plenty of ways to differentiate yourself when you take the most popular stack.
Mm-hmm.
How about a little like button for the boys here, hanging out with you on this beautiful Friday, just a couple of days away from the first Sunday of the NFL season? That'd be great. NFL 17% off the lifetime of your subscription. 2 games to go here on the NFL slate. Rams at the Seahawks, JBC. Rams getting 5 points. 46 is the total. Seattle minus 225 at home. No Cooper Kupp. This is a bad offensive line. I think if Cooper Kupp was in this game, I would actually take the Rams, but it's going to be rough to do that. Outside Aaron Donald, they're just a disaster defensively. A lot of people are buying the Seahawks. You buying the Seahawks? What do you think about the side, the total, and DFS?
I'm definitely on the Rams here. I think they're going to win the game still, even without Kupp. The Seahawks big sell this year. My models, that's the worst play. The Seahawks win total under, and the Seahawks not to make the playoffs. All those bets, they're the best bets on the board. The Seahawks, I mentioned it I mentioned it with the Bengals, and people are giving me shit because it's been 2 years in a row. But the Seahawks are absolutely smoke and mirrors. They're going to have a losing record.
All right. Any Rams here? Any Seahawks here stats?
No, I mean, look. We have we share parts of our brain together, Mark and I. So
it's a little weird now. I'm starting to get a little freaked out by you two.
I know.
I don't know what's going on. Please explain. Like, you're posting his stuff in Discord. He's slurping you up.
We share a brain.
Okay. It's a little weird.
Just when he says anything outrageous, that's the only time we're not sharing.
Okay.
We're not sharing any brains. So I will say this: Seattle took some sharp money, but this was one of the bad ones that I took, and I took the Rams earlier I got it at 6 actually. So no, I actually did get a good number. I got it at 6. This has come down. Sharp money, like I said, has come in on Seattle. They're against me on this game. Listen, Kupp is one of the few guys, and you saw it last night, the other guy, Kelsey, when they're not playing, they're one of the few guys who can move the line of any significance. Lines don't move all that much for anyone other than the quarterback. I think people overestimate, even if Jefferson's not in the game, it probably wouldn't move the line as much as Kupp could move it for the Rams. But with that said, I do think they're very live in this game. I think last year was an anomaly. I don't think you'll see the same Geno Smith that you did, at least for the first 75% of last season. He did come back down to earth towards the tail end. I'm with Mark on this one. I think you want to be a seller of Seattle, which is why I do like San Francisco so much to win that division, because I really don't think the Rams are good enough to contend, and we certainly know Arizona won't be there at the end. So I think you've got San Francisco, while there's maybe a couple of question marks, way too much talent. Seattle, I'm a seller, and I'm a seller in this game. I do think the Rams have a shot on the outright. Maybe you want to take it with the points and take a little bit on the money line.
I will say this, and this is just from memory. There's so many times the worst team in this rivalry just ends up winning or playing teams real close. It's a rivalry game. Like when the Seahawks were winning Super Bowls, the Rams would come in there and give them shit. When the Rams were winning, Seahawks would do the same thing. So this is a big rivalry game, no doubt about it. Our last game, we're going to talk about betting a DFS in the NFL, will be the Packers and the Bears. Obviously, the Packers, a lot of turnover here. Jordan Love, the quarterback now. Christian Watson is number one option, out. Romeo Doubs practice, but he's got a hamstring injury. Looking for a lot of Aaron Jones this week, JBC. I'm going to roll with him with a touchdown. I'll dig into his rushing plus receiving yards as well. On the other side, there's the Bears, and the Bears are at home. They are laying 1.5. They're minus 125 in the money line. Packers plus 105, 41.5 total. Bears, you like the Bears? You back in the Bears this week, and does this interest you any in DFS, including Justin Fields?
It certainly interests me in DFS. Justin Fields and Jones, I think, are both very good plays. I'm curious how Fields is going to mesh with DJ Moore, but ultimately, the best unit out of the four main, Bears offense, Bears defense, Packers offense, Packers defense. Packers defense is the best unit in this game. So I think the Packers are going to win, and I like them on the money line.
Ooh, stats. You want invest a little bit in some Justin Fields, some Aaron Jones? You want to take a side or a total?
Yeah, I mean, what shocked me in this game, the word I'm getting is the fact that the Packers are getting bet heavier here than the Bears. I actually thought the Bears would come in with a little bit more, losing Aaron Rodgers. Love hasn't looked great. I thought the Bears would come in as the public team here and get more action on them. So I'm a little concerned on the Green Bay side, just from the fact that so many people like Green Bay. I don't quite know where that is. If it's sharp money, that's a possibility. So I'm confused on the game. I would actually lean on the Bears side of this game, but not enough to make a bet. So in pools and things like that, I would probably take the Bears here. But this game does confuse me. I agree. The Packers might have the best unit on the field. I do think Fields. I know Green Bay has had Chicago's number. That was Aaron Rodgers. I think it changes here. So I'm going to lean towards the Bears side on this game.
All right, let's keep rolling on. We're going to go to the college side now. We got 5 games that we're going to break down with the boys. Again, we've got the Buffs taking on Nebraska. Okay, we've got Texas at Alabama, one of the marquee games of the week. Notre Dame visiting NC State, Ole Miss at Tulane, and then Oregon, Texas Tech. So let's start with this Nebraska-Colorado. Guys, I'm not even kidding. This is a Broncos town. I live about 35 minutes south of Denver, 40 minutes south of Denver, between that and Colorado Springs. And this is hit next level. And everybody's betting this thing. And everybody seems to be betting Colorado. You got them at 2.5 or 3-point favorites. Colorado money line, 95% on Deion Sanders, boys. 90% of the tickets, guys. 61% of the money. 79% of the tickets on the spread. Now, there's the interesting one. The total, over 26% of the money, 52% of the tickets. So you can dig into that. And my guy over at Bet Rivers tells me there's more money on Colorado and Nebraska than Alabama, Texas, and Iowa State, Iowa combined, guys. Combined. Boy, you guys are big college guys. I get it. I've been on this Colorado team. It's kind of fun. Matt Rule's over there. So, JBC, can you break this down for me? Because at one point in time this week, there was more tickets and money on Colorado than there was any NFL team. That has changed now as the week has gone on. We had the Chiefs last night, but a lot of hype. How you liking this game?
Well, I mean, Colorado's problems are going to become more apparent as the season goes on because they have very little depth. I mean, ultimately, second game, it's not going to be as bad, but I just think Nebraska's going to win. Betting on Colorado just doesn't appeal to me at all. They've got the 2 best players on the field. Sanders and Hunter are going to be the 2 best guys on the field, but on the up front and on the defensive line, I just don't see how Nebraska doesn't just run them over.
So you're taking Nebraska money line?
Money line.
Ooh, okay. All right, Stats, let's hear it from you again. If you're betting Colorado, you can get -2 and a hook at a lot of places. If you're betting Nebraska, you can find them at +3 at a whole bunch of different books as well. So that's a little bit all over the place. As far as the total goes, 58.5, 59. Stats, any interest here in betting this game?
Yeah, I like this game. I mean, I like Nebraska plus the points. If you can get the 3, that's what I'd like to get on Nebraska. I had Nebraska last week plus the 7.5 in that game. It was an ugly game. Some turnovers in that game really limited. They should have easily won that game, and then the turnovers were just a killer against Minnesota. But Colorado, I mean, this is a matter of, hey, is Nebraska going to be able to stop this Colorado offense? I don't know how well they'll be able to stop them, but can Colorado or can Nebraska really control the ball? That's what they're going to try to do, and then limit the amount of scoring, because the Colorado defense is pretty bad. So I would expect Nebraska to be able to control the ball here, and I think they win the game. Look, when you look at the markets, Colorado's obviously being bet by all of the public, but we did see sharp money come in on Colorado, but at a much better price. I think the sharps are going to stay away. They came in when this was -1.5, -2, and the public has been taking Colorado all the way up to -3.5. So that's how you see the difference between the sharps and the public. The sharps are taking this at a much better price. My model likes I think a lot of people's models will like Nebraska. We'll see. I think it's way too much hype on this one. it's tough. It's tough for football, for college football. I'd love to see Colorado win and keep this going, but it's tough for me to back Colorado on this game.
All right. Well, normally Texas, Alabama would be the big game of the week. But again, the Buffs have just taken over the sports world at this point. So we got the Longhorns visiting the Tide. Longhorns defense stifling against Rice. This is obviously a little bit different. Quinn Ewers didn't turn the ball over. He can again, obviously, right, guys? UTO line probably at a disadvantage against the Bama defense. And you got Jalen Milroe as the dual threat QB. So here are the lines, JBC. 53.5, 54 is the total, depending on which way you want to go there. And as far as the spread goes, this will be the interesting one. Texas getting 7 points on the road. What is the bet in Texas, Alabama?
I like the Tide, man. It's hard to ever bet against Saban at home and on the road. But something I always tell people when they want to bet against Alabama is you're not gonna make yourself money long term betting against Saban. And I really like them in this game. I think they win by 2 touchdowns. 2
touchdowns? All right, talk to me here. Stats. You got a little breakdown for this game?
I'm on the same side. I took it this morning. Actually, this was the of the games that we're going over. The 2 that I bet that last game already earlier in the week, and then earlier today I took it at -7. Alabama. I don't think you're going to get a better number on this game. So I think if you like it, you're not going to see 6.5. I would take it at the 7 and jump on that. Now. I agree. I like that. I like this cover by two touchdowns as well.
Okay, little alt line bet. You're going to go a little alt line?
You could
13.5.
Yeah, you could. I haven't looked at those. I haven't looked at those numbers, but you could take a -10 and then minus maybe let's say 13, something like that.
Ooh, climbing a little ladder with that one. Notre Dame, yeah. Notre Dame, NC State. This game is in Raleigh, where NC State's won 16-17, date back to 2020. This will be the 3rd game for the Irish already. It is a spread of 7.5. So Notre Dame laying 7.5 on the road. The money line -305. You want to back NC State? I'm seeing 255s out there right now, and the total is at 50.5, all -10 at all these places. So JBC, what's the play in Notre Dame, NC State?
I like Notre Dame. This may not be a common opinion, but I feel like Hartman. He's about 80 years old. He's played NC State probably 15 times by now. And I just think that they're a better team all over the board. The linemen for Notre Dame are bigger, quarterback's better. I don't see how they don't beat them.
So Notre Dame is the play here, -7. Okay. What do you got? Stats? You with JBC or against them in this one?
I'm going to go against them here. The sharps are actually taking the NC State side of this game. The public's on Notre Dame, as they typically are. I think it's just a matter of who wins the game. The Notre Dame offense against the NC State defense. I think the defense for NC State holds them in this one close enough where I'll take that 7.5 points and hopefully they keep it tight.
All right, 2 more games to go, and then we'll give our best bets in the NFL. We'll give our best bet in college. If you got a futures play, we'll do that as well. Please hit the like button. Sign up for our premium content, NFL 17% off for life, not just for a couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of months, couple of years, for life. Ole Miss Tulane is the next one. Rebels beat Mercer in the opener. Big deal. Michael Pratt, if you haven't seen him play for Tulane, you might want to go out there and check this game out. This is one of the games you wanted to talk about. JBC, 66.5 is the total. I'm seeing -10 on both sides there. The money line +225 for Tulane at home, and the spread, again, 7 points. So we on Tulane or Ole Miss, JBC?
I like Ole Miss. I mean, Lane can always put up points, and Lane Kiffin, not Tulane. But I just think Tulane, there's a little residual love for them from last year. And I just don't. It's a situation like the last game where one team has all the horses and one team doesn't. Ole Miss has so many better players. I think they're going to boat race them.
What up, Mardon Yeezy? One of our big. Say hello to Stats too, Mardon. I mean, Stats is here too. Just don't ignore this guy. He's the best talent we got. Stats, what you got in this one? Little Tulane.
I would take I'm small on Ole Miss, but I do like the under in this one actually. So I think all the focus is on the offenses here. I think this one stays on. It's a high total in this game. I would lean towards the under. If you're looking where the sharp money has, or actually, there's no sharp money on the game, but the squares have been coming in on Ole Miss as well. I always hate to be on that side, so I'm going to be a small player on the Ole Miss side, but I do like the under.
Okay, last game, Oregon at Texas Tech. We've got sixes. We got 6.5 out there. So Oregon's the favorite, -6, -6.5. Texas Tech at home. As far as the money line goes, Texas Tech, you're getting 2-1 there. And the total is 69, dude. 68.5 at other places as well. JBC, break it down.
I think this is a fairly simple case of Texas Tech had a horrible loss last week against Wyoming. And, the line has just gotten out of hand. It shouldn't be this high. It should be closer to a pick 'em. I like Texas Tech.
Ooh, what do you got, Stats? Anything in this one?
Yeah, I would lean. My lean would be Texas Tech. Not enough to make a play. I will tell you that sharps have hit the over. Excuse me, but I actually like this game under as well. So I would go against the sharp money on this game. I like the under 68.5.
Okay, we're done with the college side. We'll get some best bets for everybody right now. And then if you want a future, hit us up in the chat and tell us you want a future, and we'll give one. I need at least 5 comments in the YouTube chat, though, in order for us to actually give a futures bet. Thumbs up. That would be great. JBC, best bet of the weekend, NFL or college, it don't matter.
Nebraska.
Statsational. Best bet of the weekend.
Oh, he's going to go with Nebraska. I'm going to go with Alabama as my best bet.
You guys love the college side.
Yeah, okay. I'm giving a college side.
It's much easier to beat college sides than pro sides.
I'm sure it is. And then I'm a player props guy. I'm going to give you 2 of them. Aaron Jones is going to get in the box. Aaron Jones touchdown plus 155. Hunter Wren for over 28.5. So those are the 2 player props that I really like this week, and I recommend you bet the other way. Do we have an NFL future here, JBC?
Yeah, I mean, after last night, and I hate to parrot what Stats said earlier, but the Chiefs to win the AFC West, I think now's the time.
Chiefs to win the West. You get a little better number now. Oh, yeah. I mean, it really is amazing how great Mahomes is. Oh, he was bad last night. Kadarius Toney was bad last night. That's who was bad. Kadarius Toney was bad. His receivers sucked. Except Blake Bell showed us something. Yep. And so did Noah Gray. Stats, best future out there for you?
I don't know if it's the best one. One that we didn't talk about, though. I'm bearish on Minnesota as well, so I'll take under win totals on Minnesota. I'm forgetting exactly what that number was.
The Vikings or the Gophers?
The Vikings. So give me the under on win totals. I'm going to sell everything on Minnesota, and I'm selling Seattle win total and futures as well. So those would be a couple of futures that I really like.
Hey, Stats, can you talk a little bit about the bet side before we get out of here? Again, NFL 17% off for life. You can get the DFS side or the bet side, or you can combine DFS and bets. I'm going to tell you about our Sunday programming in just a moment. But Stats, what are some of the features, the new features here on the bet side?
Yeah, so, I mean, some of the features, obviously, you're going to be getting picks now from JBC. You'll be getting them from myself. We've got a lot of models for you guys on the bet side now. And we're also going to be introducing maybe some point today or tomorrow a prop model for both prize picks and props. I don't even know if you're familiar with that yet, Holden, but we're
did not know that.
Yeah, so that's going to be really exciting. If you guys play on prize picks, you're definitely going to want to check this out. What it does is it looks at the market, it looks at all the sports books, takes the sports books prices, and then compares it to where prize picks is at. So if there's a discrepancy in the 2 markets based on, the sports book lines, you could go ahead and quickly find what those discrepancies are and then take advantage of that on prize picks. So it's a really nice tool. And then the props tool, there's 2 different tools there. The props tool is going to show you based on projections what we think the best props are. So check that out. That's going to be coming out today or tomorrow. I've been teasing it in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, of course, you go in the Discord for the bets, and it's like having notification on your phone. Just turn on the notifications for the Discord in that room. Every time one of us places a bet, boom, you'll get it, and you'll get the bets instantly. So it really works well.
All right, here's our Sunday programming. You're going to wake up. You're going to get your stuff. You're going to have your coffee or do whatever it is. J.O. like Stats like to do earlier in the show. Then you're going to get to your computer or watch on your TV on the YouTube. We got Off the Chalk, which is our first show of the day, 8:45 Eastern time. AP, my boy. JT, my boy. Locks, you're still my boy. I love you. 8:45 to 9:45. Then we got a little desperate. I had to jump in on the morning wood again this season, so I'm back after a year or two off. It's going to be Big T. This year, JSU is in there, and myself. It's an all-star team. It's going to be amazing. DFS, the morning wood show. We might give out a bet or two as well, but that one's coming up from 10 to 11. And when that's done, then I got to deal with Mangone and unfortunately Draft Sheet. Now, I love Mangone. DC, I've been grinding baseball with all season long, 11:30 to 1 o'clock Eastern time. So I got to see him. That's fine. JBC, wonderful to work with you. It was good to hang out with you. Stats, we got a lot in common here. We're old. We were born in the same place, the 86 World Series. So you and I actually have a show on Wednesdays that I'm looking forward to doing. Don't want to forget this too. On Sunday, we will have programming as the games are going on. There's a Sunday night showdown show that we're going to have out there with Mangone, and a Sunday night football showdown show with Rubio, Kurt, and AP. I love the young guys. They're absolutely terrific to watch. For JBC, for Stats, my name is Holden Kushner. Keep running pure.